Okay. So the next topic I have is basically using the word called Dena. So give me 1 minute and we'll start with this topic. And for some reason, if you feel like it's too advanced for you, for the complete beginners, feel free to kind of like, take a pause here and just focus on, focus on just like, memorizing and practicing what we covered, so far. Okay, so the word called Dena, which is basically the intermediate ones. Okay, so as you know, there are many use cases of Dena. We have practiced it in the past as well. Right now, I'm going to cover it like without going into the too much grammar details for Dena. Okay, so Usha Jain, she says like, when we take this any Hindi verb, we convert into an oblique case. Now, this word may throw you off. What do you mean by oblique case? But we'll get there. Okay, and after that, if we use Dena in a word, okay, it gives the indication of basically to allow someone to do something. To allow someone to do something. So imagine like I want to say let me teach, okay, or you want to say let me watch TV, okay, or you want to say let me sleep, which we often do that, like we are doing something and we get disturbed by someone, or we and you want to say let me focus. Okay, I do that to my kids all the time. Let me focus, right? Because like especially when you're doing something, how do you say those in Hindi? Okay, so this particular section will just help you cover that. So imagine, give me 1 minute. So imagine like you want to say all of these scenarios, which is let me teach, or let me play soccer, okay, or even don't let him go. Imagine all these kind of sentences. For all of them, you end up using this word called Dena. And as I said, how will you do it? You will take the main verb in a sentence. You'll change into an oblique case, and you will add Dena next to it. So we'll take very, very basic case first, and I want you to just focus on that right now. Don't worry about the bigger sentences. The goal is to just make initially the sentences using 2 words. Okay? 2 words. That's the key. So let's say you learn about the verb called padhna. Padhna is to read, okay, and to learn, to read only, essentially, right? When we say oblique case in Hindi, it's there is a special case where unlike English, the grammatical form changes of the underlying the constructs. Okay, so in cases where ladka becomes ladke, okay, even though ladka is singular, ladke is plural, okay, but when ladka is followed by a postposition, it changes the form. Okay, it may be confusing, but right now think about it is like you typically when you learn the verb in the infinitive form, they're ending with na. So you have padhna, you have likhna. Likhna is to write. Okay, bolna is to speak. all of them, they are ending with na. And all of them, the meaning is to read, to write, and to speak. Infinitive form of the verb. Right now, don't worry about the definition of oblique case, but essentially, the ending changes. So, padna becomes padhne. Likhna becomes likhne. Bolna becomes bolne. That's the oblique form of this word. Padhne, likhne, and bolne. Usha Jan says that if I put form of this word Dena, which is basically right now I'm going to just say do. Okay, so if I say padhne do, likhne do, bolne do, that means if I'm saying it for myself, I'm giving this indication of let me read or let me study. Likhne do, let me write. Bolne do, let me speak. Okay. Similarly, let's say the verb is khelna. Khelna is to play. Just follow the pattern. Inga, what would you say? If I want to say let me play, just based on your current understanding, what will you say?
Khelne.
Khelne, and then what are you putting after that? Khelne?
Don't know.
Yeah, so remember the verb was Dena.
Very
good. Khelne do. Amazing. Khelne do. Okay, and it means let me. If you are saying it, it means let me play. So right now, khelne do.
मेरे सवाल है तो all these examples use do, but do you ever say khelne dijiye?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all the other rules that we have, Kaliji, for imperatives, they stay as is. Khelne do, khelne dijiyega, or khelne de.
But I mean, do you hear it? Because I didn't see in any of her examples using DJ. So is that a weird thing to say?
No. It's not weird right now because we are just starting off. I wanted to keep the variables limited, but basically you can use all of them. Okay, based on the context, right? I mean, let's say you are meeting a best friend of yours, and you are very, very informal about it. Okay. And very, very casual, sorry. Okay, so you can say TV dekhne de, like let me watch TV. Okay, you will not say khelne, dekhne do or dekhne dijiye. So that's completely normal. It's not a weird thing to say. Okay, does it make sense, or you still have questions, Kelly?
Oh yeah, no. Because I just saw in Usha Jan she didn't use any DJ in there.
Yeah, you can use it. Usha Jan, I think it's. She covers it in different forms. She covers it in the past and all, but you can use it. There is no rule that restricts you. Okay. So right now, as I said, don't worry about longer sentences. All I want is get into the habit of using a verb, changing the ending, and then putting do after that. Okay. So let's take an example. Done. Do you know any Hindi verb?
Not right now.
Huh? Not right now? Okay, no worries. Let's say I give you a verb. Okay, I give you the verb called let's say I give you a very interesting verb, a simple one.
How about sona?
Sona, very good. What does it mean?
Sleep.
To sleep, very good. So,
Yes, to sleep.
how will you say someone, let me sleep?
Well, I could say it, but I was going to let someone else do it. Sone do.
Very good. Sone do. Amazing. Sone do. Let me sleep.
Ashu Ji, can I say mujhe sone do?
Yes,
Can I say the mujhe here?
Yes,
Okay.
that's right. We will cover
Yeah, I think
that.
you say mujhe for all of them, but I was trying to keep it simple.
Yep.
Since you haven't taught mujhe to some of the new people yet.
Yep. You can say mujhe sone do. Okay. But the verb as is like, sona, you change it to sone and sone do. Okay.
Ashu Ji, what does it mean if we say "sone ke liye" in this case?
For सोने के लिए in just like so के लिए we will cover it later on, but के लिए it's a post position in Hindi. Post position, which means for. Okay, for you आपके लिए, for me मेरे लिए. Okay, for for enjoyment, right? I mean, so enjoyment के लिए. Okay, so के लिए we have to make a particular sentence to really contextualize it. For example, if you're going to sleep or for sleep, मैं सोने के लिए जा रहा हूँ. Okay, so there you can say that सोने के लिए. Yeah. But Vignesh, since you asked this question, any other word you can think of in Hindi, and we can practice that. What do you like to do as a hobby?
To laugh.
To laugh. Very good. Very good. So to laugh is hasna. How will you say? Let me laugh.
मेरे हंसने दो.
Very good. हंसने दो. That's it. हंसने दो. Keep it simple. 2 words. That's it. What comes before that, it's a different thing. We will cover that, like which form of pronoun you'll be using. Right now, if you are saying it हंसने दो, absolutely correct. It works well. People will know that you're talking about yourself. Okay, if there are kids having fun, laughing, and then somebody is trying to stop them, you can say हंसने दो. They will know that you're talking, you are trying to say let them laugh. Okay, don't worry about उनको हंसने दो right now. But okay, awesome. So let's keep going. So this was how are we doing with time? 8:42. Okay, so this is case number 1. Case number 1, where you take the verb, you change it to an oblique case, which is change the ending of it, and all you're doing is putting do after that. Okay, so that's your case number 1. Let's do case number 2 and make it a little bit more interesting. Okay, case number 2 is, so let's say you want to say let me. Your case number 1 is still let me watch. Okay, to watch is, let's see who will say that. To watch. Heidi?
देखना.
Dekhna, very good. Dekhna. Dekhna. How will you say? In your case number 1, let me watch.
नहीं तो.
देखने दो. Very good. देखने दो. In case number 2, all we are doing is making it a little bit more contextual. Let's say you want to say Heidi, let me watch TV, or you want to say let me watch the soccer game. How will you say that? Or you want to watch a movie. It's simple.
देखने दो आशु जी.
Yeah. So let's say you want to say let me watch TV.
TV देखने दो.
Very good. TV देखने दो. My daughter, she keeps saying me, okay, TV देखने दो, right? Because they want to watch TV all the time. They don't want to be interrupted, right? How else will you say, Rita ji? Let me watch the soccer game.
Soccer game देखने दो.
Very good. Soccer game. देखने दो. And for all the students who are advanced, intermediate, as Kelly ji alluded to, you can change the form as well of do. You can play around with that. Okay.
I guess what I'm asking for is if do was rude, like if you didn't know someone and you just said, TV dekne do versus like TV dekne DJ, like is it more the tone or is it more
That's right. That's more the tone. It's more the tone, how you're saying it. Sometimes though can be said in a nicer way, where the tone is such a way that people will understand that you're not being rude. But like if you're TV dekhne do, like if your tone is a little bit off, they will understand as it like it's slightly rude. But you're absolutely right. Like the tone defines the tone defines it basically.
Excuse me, Ashu, I'm just wondering, because you say your daughter, aren't children not supposed to use do and they should say the DGM?
Yeah, I mean, but like
So is she saying do or DGM?
So she will just say it in English, but I'm just saying it. But her tone is off. Like her tone is a little bit like, let me watch. So her tone is like, very, like to me, she will be, very casual, right? Informal. So if she were to say it in Hindi, TV dekhne do. So, but you again, all of you are saying that the same thing. Like if you want to be respectful, if you want to be careful, you can say DGA. You should say DGA. Yeah.
Ashu Ji,
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm hearing in my head soccer game ko dekhne do, something
Yeah.
like that. I don't know why it is the ko is in my head. It's going. I don't know. Is it something completely? Am I wrong, or is it there hidden somewhere?
What do you guys think? Her question is like she somehow is thinking soccer game ko dekhne do. Do you think ko will come here?
Please. Oh, sorry.
Would I use maybe the call if I would say, let me play Tuesday soccer? Would I put, like, for example, the day and then call?
Okay. Anyone else?
Does it matter about specificity? Like, it makes sense that ko would be there because you're saying you're kind of pointing out to the game. Does it matter if it's very specific? Like if you say this game?
Now we are getting closer. Okay.
Is it? Oh, I thought it was cold. Well, me and my colds. I thought it was like a person or something you would need cold, but for inanimate like games and TV, you don't have to put cold.
Yeah, that
because
is.
they're inanimate objects.
Okay, so that's true. If it is animate object, you will put ko. But if you are talking about any specific object, मुझे किताब को पढ़ने दो, that means you are talking about a particular book. If you are saying किताब पढ़ने दो, that means let me read a book. If you're talking about किताब को पढ़ने दो, you are being very particular about like the book that you want to read. Radhika ji, does it make sense or?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just put my foot in it. I think it's a.
Yeah.
I don't know
great.
why in my head it's all the time the co was thinking.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, I got. Thank you.
Yeah, but don't, again, for beginners, don't worry about too much about it. Right now, all these things, will come many times. But right now for you, just think about the word, change the ending and, put do after that. And it means, and we will, in the few classes after today, we will do list of verbs as well. So that also, it will be repetition for you. Okay. So hopefully you are following case number 2. Case number 2 is nothing but you're putting some noun before that. Okay, TV dekhne do, movie dekhne do, soccer game dekhne do. So give me just 1 minute and I'm gonna make sure there's no background noise. Okay, so that was case number 2. If I were to again give you the word called khana, khana is to eat. Again, case number 2, khana is to eat. So you would simply say khane do. Let me eat. Okay. If I'm saying it, it would be let me eat. Even though me, there is no pronoun here, but if I'm saying it, it's implied that it's for me. Khane do. Okay. Some of you mentioned like, can I say mujhe khane do or mujhko khane do? That's correct. That's how you will say it if you want to be specific. Okay. But if it's not there, it's implied that you're talking about yourself. Khane do, let me eat. Okay. If you want to put the noun before that, you can say dosa khane do. let me eat dosa. Okay, if you are eating some dessert, laddu khane do, like laddu khane do. Okay, or pizza khane do. Okay, pizza khane do. Right, so far so good. This is your case number 2. Okay, and this is mostly for the intermediate advanced folks. Okay, case number 1, start again. Don't get fixated on longer sentences. Once you get a hang of just like habit of like, you know, using a verb, naturally changing the ending of it and putting do, dga, that would make me very happy that, you know, it's just coming naturally to you.
Let me watch television.
Yeah,
Just
so
keep playing.
in case number 2, all you're doing is putting a noun before that and making it a little bit more contextual. Yeah,
Done good. Thank you.
let's make it a little bit more interesting. Case number 3, we have some time, so I'm gonna cover more cases for this one. In case number 3, you can put a name next to it. Name next to it. Okay, so let's say, so far, let's say we had same thing, TV देखने दो. TV देखने दो, or let's say you had dosa खाने दो, right? Let's say you want to specify, you know, a person who you want to you're speaking it for. So let's say let Jesse watch TV. Okay, or let Ria eat dosa. How will you say that? You will put the name before that and you will say Jesse को TV देखने दो, or you will say Ria को dosa खाने दो. So you will notice that the name, after the name of the person, there's a new keyword called ko. Okay, for folks who are already familiar, this is a post position in Hindi. For complete beginners, don't worry about it right now. Just know that it happens in Hindi. This keyword, you will hear this sound ko. Okay, Jesse को TV देखने दो. Okay, Ria को dosa खाने दो. Okay, done. If you hear, if you want to say something like, you know, instead of Ria and Jesse, let's say I change the name and it is basically, let's say let Heidi, I think I wrote it correctly, watch, HEI, let Heidi watch TV and let Leah eat dosa. How will you say that? Done.
Heidi को TV देखने दो.
Amazing. And the next one?
Lia को dosa खाने दो.
I'm sure both of them will agree with that, right? I mean, don't disturb me, okay? Type of a scenario. Good. So this is simply making it more contextual, okay? Right now I'm not using pronoun here. Right now I'm just using like the names, proper nouns, right? I mean, pronouns will get to that, where you are saying for me or for you or for them, you know, we will cover it in the later classes. Okay. Any questions on this one? Anyone thinks it's hard so far?
Can I ask?
Go for it.
If it's Riyako or just Ko, those are females, and is it Ko for males and females for
That's
both?
right. Both of them you will put ko next to it.
That is Ko.
Yeah, both of them.
Thank you.
Yeah. Case number 4 is you want to have negative sentences. Case number 4 is making negative sentences. Negative sentences. And in this case, all you want to say is don't let Heidi watch TV, or don't let Ria eat dosa. What do you think, Vatsalaji? How will this change?
Heidi को टीवी नहीं देखने दो.
Okay. You're putting a new word here. And what about the next one?
लिया को डोसा नहीं खाने दो.
Okay. So there are many ways to say the negative sentences, but because this is imperative, instead of nahi you will say
Mat.
mat. Very good. So say it again, Vatsalaji, all the sentences, both of them.
Heidi को टीवी मत देखने दो.
Okay, Heidi को TV मत देखने दो. And
लिया को डोसा मत खाने दो.
very good. लिया को डोसा मत खाने दो. Awesome. Any other sentences you want to practice or make? New sentences. Rita ji, you want to try a new sentence? Let's say let's pick on Kelly ji. Don't let Kelly drink smoothie.
Smoothie. Okay, Kelly ko smoothie. Pine matdo.
Smoothie. Okay, Kelly ko smoothie. Now I'm gonna put the spelling. Smoothie mat. Pine.
Pine do.
Very good. Right. So you see
Too
how.
late.
Huh?
Late.
What?
It's too late. I just finished.
Oh, you finished it? Oh my goodness. We
It's okay.
we didn't-
6 months of no Hindi, I almost forgot the verb for drink.
So you see how we started. We started with just pina. Pina becomes pine. Do. This is your case number 1. Case number 2 was smoothie pine do. Okay. Case number 3 was Kelly ko smoothie pine do. And case number 4 is Kelly ko smoothie mat pine do. Right? So
Ashu Ji?
yeah.
I have a question.
Go for it.
When do we use mat, nahi, and na?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I have to send you more material on that. But in short, when you are talking about imperative mood, you use mat. And nahi when you're using indicative mood. And na for subjunctive mood. But then now the next question is, how do I know what is subjunctive, what is indicative, and what is imperative, right? So we will cover that, but it's an excellent question. The question is really,
I have a question as well when you're done with that.
Yeah, go for it.
So I often am talking to my kids and I want to tell them, you are allowed to watch TV. So how do I do it using that? I'm using do, but I don't know that is correct. So, तुम लोगों को TV देखने दूं, but I don't think that's right. How do I say, like, you're allowed to watch TV right now, or after this you're allowed to?
After homework, okay. So,
it's coming from me instead of I'm allowed to from someone else.
Yeah.
I'm telling them I'm allowing them.
Yeah. Many ways to say that. I won't necessarily use this pattern.
Okay.
I won't use this pattern.
Would you say sakna?
Very good, excellent. I'm gonna use sakna.
Okay.
I will use sakna. I will also. So sakna is one way of saying it. Allow karna is another way of saying it. I'm gonna use either of these patterns. आप टीवी देख सकते हो और मैं आपको अलाउ करूंगा. Okay, so you can say it either ways. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course. But yeah, I mean the previous question, Vidya ji will definitely spend more time on that. Mat, nahi, and na. Okay, that's an excellent question. We are running out of time. Okay, so this is case number 4. If you guys can give me 1 more minute, I can just finish it up, which is basically the special case of using Dena. I know it's a little bit of a longer class, but I'm gonna just do it pretty quick so that way this topic is done. So case number 5 is a special case which is basically, some of the words that have become so prominent, or sentences which are prominent that you use it on a day-to-day basis, which is jane do. Jane do. Like jana is to go in general. When you say jana, it's to go. But it really means forget it. Forget it. Like, how sometimes, we have this habit of saying, oh, forget it. Forget it. Like in Hindi, it's just like that. So you can just remember this phrase, jane do. Like, you're talking about something and you're like, oh, jane do. Okay, so this is a special case where even though it means to go, but in a way, it's let it go. Okay, so jane do. Like there's a song also, it seems like a newer song, which is basically instead of do, he's saying jane de. Jane de. But in the whole song, he's really like, just forget it, just forget this, forget this. He keeps saying that. Multiple things he's upset about, and he's like, just leave it. Okay. Second one is hone do. Hone do. Okay, as most of the advanced students or intermediate, you already know hona, it's to happen or to be. Just like that, you will change the verb hona, the ending of it, to hone and hone do, which is basically let it happen. Let it happen. There also it's a special case, like, it's like, let's say there's a lot of rain, it's raining a lot, and somebody's coming to you, it's raining a lot. People are worried, this and that, and the politicians like, hone do, like giving the tone
Ashu
that,
Ji?
yeah.
Is it the same as say let it be? Like in the Beatles song, Let It Be?
Let it be. Slightly different though. Let it be is actually, yeah. Hone do.
Let it be would be more let it remain. Let it remain done. Let it be as it is.
I have to watch it again actually to follow the lyrics, but I would assume that he's saying in a different context, like, let it be. Like, what? Give me a line of that song if you don't mind.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, and then blah blah blah. Let it be.
Let it be.
So
Okay.
it's like, leave your worries.
There will come an answer. Let it be.
Let it be.
There will come an answer. Let it be.
Yeah. Slightly different though. Slightly different.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Ashu Ji, Ashu Ji has it as Rahene Do.
Rahene
Let
do.
it be.
That's right. Rahene do is also
Which
next one.
is so funny because, right, you just said before, hone do of let it happen.
Yeah.
So like the versus, so that hone instead of being to be is the to happen one. And then I guess that's what Alex was saying, right, is let it remain.
Let it remain. Let it be.
Let it stay.
Ashu Ji, could you also say don't worry about it?
Don't worry about it.
Hone do.
Yeah, because when I don't want someone to, like when the kids are playing and they have some stuff and I want them to just leave it somewhere, I say renido. I don't know if that's right, but I just say renido, leave it.
Leave it. That's right. That's right. Leave it. That's right. Leave it. So now the thing is, like, these are all special cases, and there is no one rule basically that I can say that will fit everywhere. Like, so for example, in this case, there are many questions and like jane do. Okay. I mean, I know there are few questions here, so let me just, like, why don't I capture the questions, because I don't want to go too over on the time as well. So what are the open questions right now? Let's see. Kelly, you want to ask first the open question that's still not answered, and we can probably take it to the next class.
I don't have any.
No open question. No open. Okay. Any other open questions? Anyone?
Ashu Ji,
Yeah.
when do you use after the oblique case the whole verb? Dena, mujhe jaane dena. I also read sometimes, not do or dijiye, but the whole verb, the infinitive.
Basically, the special case, you're saying, like, when do I use the dena versus the other forms of do, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Sometimes I read that.
Yes, that's right. other forms of Dena. We can cover it in the next class. Other forms of Dena. Yeah, that's right. So you're saying like even the ending with like Jane Dena, like let him, we can cover that. We can set yeah.
मुझे अपनी काम
करने देना.
करने देना.
Yep, that's right.
Something like that.
Yep. You are absolutely right. So there are definitely all those forms are possible. Like even the past form, Jane diya, hone diya, rehne diya. Like even you will hear the past forms as well.
Oh, Ashu Ji, I do have one question. What would be similar to like c'est la vie?
Which
that's
one?
life.
Which one?
C'est la vie. That's life. Like, or maybe that's not even on this construction at all. It just seems like these are like, if something happens, a lot of times I'll just be like, c'est la vie. That's how it is.
C'est la vie. Is it Portuguese? C'est la vie? What is that?
No, it's French.
French.
I cannot speak French, so I have no French accent.
Yeah. Is it possibly kal ho na ho?
Kal ho na ho. Okay.
ये जिंदगी है.
Yeah, जिंदगी ऐसे है.
हाँ.
Oh, I
Wait,
see.
say it. Zindagi aise hai? Is that what you said?
Whatever
That's
will
like
be.
life.
This is how life is.
How life
Something
is.
like this. No?
I think I've heard